Handshake there. John not wanting to get that right hand, I guess, moist or something like that. Put the left hand out.
Yeah, well, John's always thinking, you know. Yeah. He's always thinking. He might even have done that to get his opponent thinking a little bit there. And the 4-pin, John, after that last match, just very briefly had a chance to talk with him before we came back for this match, and he said that he's using a bowling ball that he hasn't used all week on the telecast. And you mentioned, well, he's done that a lot before. How did you mean that? Well,
I know on previous telecasts, he's always drilling up equipment, and he's never satisfied, so he's always thinking that he'll change the weight here or there and come up with the perfect solution.
Ah. Well, I know no one works harder at the game than John Handegard.
Well, he's a master of what they call that pin position, you know, the new weight balance system that so many players are using, of where to put that pin to make the ball roll just 2 feet later or 2 feet earlier, and the whole thing. We get our first look at Jim Long. Smooth player, sets it down nicely. Boy, he makes it look easy.
Well, I love this guy's style, Mike. This is one of the finest you might see on the senior tour. We're going to take a look at it here. And here's a good look at Mr. Long as he goes to the foul line. You can see where he starts to push out. He really straightens out the arm at this point. We'll continue on now and watch the height of the backswing again and how square the shoulders are here. But look where the backswing is. And we continue to the foul line. Watch how long he stretches this way. That's the key. Look at the balance, the straight line down the spine there. And that's what keeps him in the pocket area right there. Man, it's the break. First break we've seen today, really.
Yeah, nice break for Jim. The 310 just kind of disappeared. Looks like that left lane hooks a little quicker than the right lane sometimes.
Yeah, it could be, or it could be that Mr. Long's just a little bit nervous yet this early in the match. Well, John's starting to look like he's lined up, and that could be trouble for everybody else. This is a pin action on that previous shot, the crossover hit for Jim Long. Look at the pins. We used to call that a Jersey squasher. Just hit the middle of the head pin and pushes them out like a bulldozer. That doesn't affect John Handegard at all. He cuts right back up there and throws a strike.
Hard to believe that John Handegard is 56 years of age now.
Oh, he's in great physical condition, takes care of himself very well. And like I say, nobody works harder. I mentioned earlier, John was out here at noon practicing, and you know, that's dedication. And there's a result of that dedication.
And of course, John is our senior qualifier as his fiancée looks on for our Dick Weber AMF Classic next week. We'll see him possibly on the Final Four next week.
It could very well happen. John's a fine match play bowler, and that whole tournament's format is match play.
Jim Long, a big man, 6 feet, 195 pounds.
Great stylist.
Boy, he's got a nice reaction there. Spent 26 years in the Air Force, Earl.
Did he really? Well, I spent 4 years in the Air Force, and they got tired and said I had to go do something else for a living. Here's another look at Long, and this is from the back, and you see that again, that long follow-through matches his name. That good extension at the foul line is the key. That's what keeps the ball on line. In fact, that was your average builder last year. Chase the ball with your hand. I mean, last week. Chase your ball with the hand, and this guy really demonstrates that, how to do it properly.
Down low, reaching out like that.
Down low, stay with the ball, chase the ball with your hand, and he does it extremely well.
And again, high on lane 23. This time he doesn't get the break as Shirley Long looks on. She looks as intense, far more intense than he does.
Well, it's harder, and I talked to her before. I've talked to everybody this week, Mike, and I talked to her before, earlier before they even started practicing, and I said, how do you feel? She says, I'm scared to death. She says, it's harder for me, obviously. Jim can get up there and throw the ball, and you see he switched to a very hard shell ball for this spare. Cross lane at the 610. Good cover. She says she's really nervous because she can't do anything. She can only sit there and watch.
Yeah, I understand. I never watched bowling, but I used to watch my son wrestle, and my other son play soccer, and my daughter play basketball, so I understand perfectly.
John Handegard here for a chance to take his first lead of this match with a strike.
Will it hold? Nope. But no split, leaves only the 4-7. Well, he was just a little bit left when he let that go, but you don't get away with anything.
Well, he thought he had that one. I think John was pretty happy with that. We're going to get another look at the pins. As the ball hit the pins, watch the head pin go straight back, where it normally would go a little bit left and give him some pin action off the wall. He didn't get that, leaving the 4-7. Could have been a lot worse.
Has to hurry. All right, it's got it. 10 pins the difference. We're through 4 frames. So
I think the strength, other than his knowledge and his good ethics, you know, his hard work that he does, the strength, one of the strengths of his game physically is his ability to be so balanced at the foul line and repeat the shot time after time. Once John figures out where he has to play, how he wants to release the ball, he's so consistent with it. He stays the same way time after time.
Knocks the 10 pin out late. Nice little break for him there. Jim Long, who is just wired on this right lane. Interesting, though, that Long picked to finish on lane 23. High again, leaves the 6-10 right now. So, Jim, high last couple of shots. Is he slowing down? Is something going wrong?
Well, I think it's nerves more than anything else. You know, we talked about how nervous his wife was, and I'm sure that Jim's probably as nervous as she is, but at least he's moving around. Physically, he can do something to determine his fate. She has to sit there and watch.
Well, in fact, speaking about nerves, we just had a chance to talk to him early to ask him if he is nervous. This is what he had to say.
I'm not nervous yet. Last time I was on TV, I was very nervous right up until I stepped on the approach, and then I calmed down. But now I'm not nervous anymore, so I guess maybe the telecast helped me last year.
What a great move there, huh, Mike? Great adjustment.
And he let that down so smoothly. It was just not over the line at all. Well, we're done halfway through the match. We'll be back with the completion of match number 2 right here at Seminole Lanes. Don't go away. A bit about the format that they use for this tournament.
I'd be very happy to do that, Mike. John Handegard, as you see, trails by 8, working on a strike. A chance to take the lead again. And he leaves the 10. Last time he left the 4 when he had this opportunity. He's made good shots. He's just not getting the strikes. A real turnaround from that first game he bowled. All right, a little bit on the format here, Mike. We had a starting field of 261 of the nation's finest senior players. You were one of the ones that wasn't here, Mike. The field after 16 games was cut to 65 players. They bowled another 8 games and is cut to the top 24. And, of course,